Good morning, everyone. It's Catherine from my hillside garden, and today I'm going to be canning up some fresh vegetable salsa. We actually love this on bagel pizzas, and I do it in the smaller 8-ounce jars, and it's just the perfect amount for 2 adults. I think we end up with, we cut 3 bagels in half, so that would be 6 bagel pizzas, and that size is just fantastic. The other thing that I think is really cool I wanted to share with you today, while I'm not going to do the actual cooking with you, I will share the recipe in the description below. I wanted to show you all the things that actually came from our garden for our salsa. I harvested the onions yesterday. The tomatoes have been coming on strong. These were from yesterday. I have some in a bag there and some in a bag there that were in the freezer. I had to do that because there wasn't enough of them at that time. The garlic is also from our garden, and these peppers are from our garden. So I had to buy the jalapenos. I didn't grow them this year. I probably will next year since we found out we like the salsa so much. The cilantro I did have to buy from the store. It's gotten so hot, the cilantro, all of it just bolted. So next year I'm going to have to try to think of another way to get that to come in right around the beginning of August. This will be a good memo for me. Hopefully I'll remember. Either planting some probably very mid-July, beginning of July, and keeping it in the shade, or maybe even seeding it in the grow room and letting it grow there. I'll have to see how that works. It just got too hot. So many things bolted this year, but I'm just so happy that I'm able to make some salsa and that most of the ingredients are coming from our garden, and I just wanted to share that with everyone. So I'm going to get about to canning these up. I'll bring you back to show you how many I got when I was done. Okay, everybody, one thing I'm going to show about peeling tomatoes. First time I did this, I couldn't believe that it would work this easy. It makes a big difference. Now, I think I'll just do to show you a couple of the tomatoes that aren't frozen. They've all been washed, and let's see. I don't put many in at a time because you don't want the water temperature to go down too quickly. And remember, this is boiling water. You don't want to just drop them in there. You'll end up splashing. So I tend to use a spoon or something to put them in. And the rate of boil will go down as you add things into your pot. So keep your lid handy. And then what I do is I set my timer for 30 seconds, and then we'll get them out. I have everything ready over at the sink. I've put water in the sink, cold tap water. You can put ice cubes in there, and from time to time I have done that. I also keep 2 separate containers to put the peeled tomatoes and the peels in. So that's gone back up. Make sure you have a good mitt to wear. And also be sure, excuse me, to have long sleeves on. You don't want that steam burning your arms. So when you go to get them out, I hope you can see that. See how the skin is cracked? That's what you want. So then I put them right into the colander. See, I don't know, I hope you could see that, how the skin, we're not so good on that one. Let's see. Okay, and if they're not cracked, you just leave them in for a little longer. But see how the skin is already peeled up off of it? You don't want to leave it in much more. You don't want them to actually cook. You just want the skin to split. And putting them in the cold water will allow them to stop cooking. So let me get the rest of these done, and I'll show you the next step. These do go quite a bit quicker when you're not filming, so I hope you can see how easy that was. It just came off of there. And then what I'll do is I'll cut into the top and take that off, and that goes in there. They are still a bit warm, so your fingers will get used to it after a while, but that's also the reason why you don't want to let them go too long in the water bath. And I also tend to core mine if I can. Now I have to get ready to go over there and get that other batch. So, but at least you get the idea of how easy it becomes to peel your tomatoes. So then we can get back to these. And I probably should put the skins in another container because I'm going to need to measure. And it gets very slippery, so get ready to lose some tomatoes if you're not careful. I don't seed any of my tomatoes, so if that's an issue for you, it does take a little bit longer to do that. And let's get this one done. And if it has stayed on there, it's very easy to just peel it up and off. And then we get that out. Okay. And as I said, always either have ice cubes ready, which is a very good idea for when you do this. So that way you're sure that your water temperature in the sink is staying cool enough. Okay. All right, let me get on with the rest of this. It'll make it quicker for me, and I'll bring you back. Well, we've gotten everything into the pot. Doesn't that look gorgeous? Now I need to bring it to a boil and let it cook for 30 minutes. So while that's getting ready to go, I have my canning pot. Yes, I use a crab pot. It works perfect for me. Touch that. I have a rack in the bottom, and I have 7 8-ounce jars in there. Works perfect for me. One little tip about flat tops, the newer ones. Now, granted, our stove is 12 years old now. I've never had an issue with it, knock wood. So the things you need to be careful about using or doing your canning on a flat top are: fill part of your canning pot at the sink, gently place it on the top, then if you need more water, add water from there. And you can't really lift your pot. It's very heavy, and I'm not to say that you can't, you could, but you have to be very careful putting the pot down onto the cooktop. But as I said, I've never had an issue. You want your pot to be as flat as possible. I know there is a tiny lip on the bottom of that crab pot, but it boils water and I have no problems with it. So I also have a deeper, the pot that I was doing the tomatoes in, I have also used that for canning. My next adventure, I'm hoping to be able to get a pressure canner. I need to do a little bit more research into that, but we'd like to start doing more of our own canning of soups and things. So, and now I'm going to show you the bad part. This is the cleanup that I have to do while this is all getting ready. So I have a lot of work ahead of me. So I'm going to leave you now, and I'll bring you back after everything's been put in the can, in the jar.